So I joined Danny's program because I was really unhealthy. I had hypertension, high cholesterol, osteoarthritis, was completely sedentary in my job, didn't do any exercise at all, drank too much wine, had horrible food choices, usually beige food, had osteoarthritis, so it meant I couldn't walk far, couldn't do gardening without pain and suffering the next day. I say sedentary job, get up from my desk, I'd walk down to the clinic and I could barely move. I was like 75 years old. I'm 53. Um, so I was really stiff. I take 5 tablets at night, 5 tablets in the morning. And I knew of people younger than me who were actually who'd had strokes, and I quite honestly thought, I'm a stroke waiting to happen. It's if I don't get a grip of myself. But I knew this, and I just couldn't do anything about it. I was trying on my own. I tried all sorts of things. I'd been a diet consultant at one point, and I was a really bad advert for my clients because although I'd lost 6 stone, I quite quickly put that back on and went back to, I'd be on and off it, and it was just a miserable existence. It's not a good way to lose weight. Meal replacement plans, no. Other things I tried with keto or intermittent fasting. I'd live on 800 calories a day, and when Danny told me what my calories were for the total I was going for the day, 1,800 calories, and I was just like, I can't eat that. I am going to put on so much weight. I struggle to, get all the meals in. Um, I didn't used to eat breakfast. It became the biggest meal of my day, and I was one of those people who go, oh, I can't eat breakfast, but it was absolutely. I love it. So I'll eat breakfast. Maybe have a small lunch, and then an early tea, and I'm just not. I don't know. I really look forward to that huge beginning. The day I've done my walk in the morning. I look forward to that really big hearty breakfast, and I don't worry about the calories, and I'll just fix the rest of the day around that. But normally, I can be eating about 700, 800 calories from breakfast, but that's fine because I'm just not hungry and I'm not snacking. So normal food, I can go out and I can socialise, I can choose healthy choices in a pub or something like a restaurant, whereas before I'd be turning people down saying, no, I can't go out, I can't eat, I'm not eating. So I would drink red wine, a lot of red wine. So I could quite easily drink a bottle of red wine a night, sadly. Knew it was too much, but couldn't stop. It was I'd lost my dad. He was terminally ill, and during that time it became a habit. I've always loved red wine, but it just became this habit, and I knew I was drinking too much. Wasn't sleeping very well. My brain was foggy the next day. No exercise, and I'd literally get in from work, and I'd probably get up in the morning and think, when can I have my red wine? Not healthy. So that is stopped completely, and I have not had a glass of red wine or any alcohol for 2 months, and have not even been tempted. In fact, there's been a bottle in my kitchen since I started with Danny, and I look, can look at it. It doesn't bother me whatsoever. So don't touch it. But Danny has this holistic way of looking at things. So he taught me to stop striving to be perfect. So I did tell him I was all or nothing. And again, that's a limiting belief that I tell myself. That's another thing Danny will say, limiting beliefs. And now, he often says, you don't say my anxiety, you know, if I want to do something, I'll do it. I've even had mad piercings at 53 because I can. Because who's to say? I always wanted them. I was like, if I had my time over again. So when I lost 2 stone, that was my reward. I had some mad piercings, and then I've had more, and I'll probably have more again. So I get up in the morning. So I've gone from struggling to walk. So I'd try to do my 10,000 steps a day. And I was in pain. So pelvic pain, leg pain, ankle, knee, and I couldn't even sort of get up the road. And I was thinking, oh, I can't do this. It's going to cause damage. Anyway, I kept going every day. I'd do 10,000 steps. I'd try and do most of that in the morning because I knew, I'm busy. I'm a single parent, so I knew I'd have a lot on, and then I've got to try and eat early and then get to bed earlier than I was going to bed. So I'd sort of factor that in the morning. Just kept going, and I felt I was getting stronger and stronger every day. And I'm even now running, which, I felt sort of 75 before, easy. And I'd say I'm 53. There's no way, if you'd have said to me I'd be running, I would have just had you sectioned, because there's just no way I could do that. But there is, because it's a limiting belief. And I say I can do whatever I choose to do. I'm sleeping so much better. I've got no alcohol, exercising. I journal my intentions and my wins for the day, which, just sets me up in the morning. I just feel happier, so much healthier, positive. I'm a single parent. I work full time. I was thinking, well, how am I going to fit? I can't do all this. How am I going to fit? When I looked at, what Danny wants me to do, but it's just an excuse. Telling yourself you're too busy just doesn't wash. I might not get my steps in every day if I've been really busy. I might eat slightly later than I wanted to eat. Things might slide slightly, but I won't let that affect things, and I'll soon pull it back, or I'll up the steps the next day. So, I feel awful. So if I've let it slip, I feel awful, and I'll soon get back on course. So I'm doing loads outside my comfort zone. Never listen to the voice that tells me I can't do something. And Danny has this magic way about making you chill out about things whilst motivating the feck out of you. I've completely changed the way I look at things. So I'm eating amazing food, including carbs. I was on 800 calories before. I'm on 1,800 calories. I can go out. I can join in with friends if I want to. I thought Danny was going to be like this boot camp PT. He's not. He actively dissuades you from 5 to 7 days in the gym, knocking yourself out, trying to lose fat. Everything I thought about exercise, it was just, he like, did you know exercise doesn't burn fat? No, I didn't. It's all about your diet. Wow. And he's got this way of educating you and explaining things really simply. So I learn things all the time. I get these light bulb moments, and the weekly Zoom calls they're just amazing. They're so motivating, and I always learn so much, and to say Danny's got this way of just explaining things, and they just make sense. I promised Danny I'd give him 8 weeks and I'd be fully committed, but I expected to prove myself right and him wrong. And that he couldn't change this clinically obese woman who was going to die a decade at least younger than she should. So anyway, I've just signed up to phase 2, and I'm going to keep going. I want to lose probably another 30 pounds. I've lost 32 pounds in the 8 weeks I've been with Danny, and I want to lose probably 30 to 40 pounds. I'll know when I get there. And I want to keep on exercising and just keep increasing, but I'm not in any rush to do it, so I'm doing it safely, and I'm giving myself rest days. Save so much money, because that's another excuse of mine. I don't know if I can afford it. I've saved, I would say, double what I wanted, what I outlaid. Not only just the food and the alcohol, but just easily. It's just saved me, and it's quite genuinely saved my life, because I was a stroke waiting to happen, and I knew I was, but I couldn't do anything about it. So if you're thinking about joining, don't hesitate, go for it, give it 100% commitment, because that's what Danny will give you in return. Good luck.